Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Code Realize. What chapter are we on? Chapter 11, Dollface. Oh, yeah, I made a comment about that in the last video, I'm pretty sure. um, so it's been a while since the last video. I almost forgot what happened, but then I saw the thumbnail of my last one and realized that Van Helsing got really beat up by the vampire serial killer in the last one. I guess a few days has passed, which means Van Helsing should be back to normal because he's going to like super recover or whatever. It's been really hard for me to sit down and record these instead of playing Baldur's Gate 3. It's just once I get obsessed with a game, it's really hard to put that obsessed game down. And it would be Final Fantasy 7 if it weren't for my campaign that I'm running, which is a vampire game set in the Curse of Strahd module, and I haven't beat Baldur's Gate 3, and so right now, and I haven't finished A Star Is Romance, so I'm like living, eating, and breathing D&D right now. And I'm trying to get it from like every resource that I can. So from my game, from Baldur's Gate 3, I downloaded Neverwinter to play the Curse of Strahd campaign and that, which I still haven't done. So I'm just all over the place. If this was Final Fantasy 7, I would have already beaten it by now because I put in 90 hours into Baldur's Gate 3 in like the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So it's it would have been done if it was Final Fantasy, but I put it down for like a week and picked something else up instead, and that's just what it's been since then. And then I also downloaded like some mods for the computer version of Baldur's Gate, and now I have totally different looking characters that I want to start a brand new game on, and I'm trying to resist that urge. So, anyways, we're gonna be focusing on Code Realize today. And I want to when I sit down and record Code Realize, I want to try to do like two videos back to back. It probably won't start today because my husband decided that he wanted to have a family night tonight, so I couldn't start earlier to get the two episodes in today. But hopefully, the next time I sit down, I can do two videos. I can release them somewhat apart, so it kind of regulates the week, so it doesn't just end up being once a week, which I know is super lame, and I'm really sorry about that. The lack of motivation is real, and I'm trying really hard to get through that. A few days has passed since the Azoth incident involving Neon Tote. I forgot how I pronounced that for a second. Neon Tote. Van Helsing is nowhere to be seen at our afternoon tea time setting. Lady Van Helsing has been away from the mansion, and we have not been seeing much of him.
バンの野郎、毎日毎日どこ行ってんだよ。飯用意してる側の身にもなれっつうの。
うん。怪我だって治りきってない。命に別状はなかったけど、それでも重傷だ。本当なら絶対安静なのに。
Yes, he's not as healing as fast as I thought he would be. I wonder where he's been going. Deli, on the other hand, doesn't seem to pay any mind to the conversation and continues to eat in silence.
お話を伺う限りでは、黄昏の指揮官となったアレスターという方と共にフィーニスの行方を追っているという線が有力でしょうね。
まあ、フィーニスが生きてるってのが未だに信じられねえけどな。人は死んだら生き返らない。それが摂理ってもんだろ。
何か仕掛けがあるんだろうね。今のところは見当もつかないけど。
とはいえ、我々ものんびりしている暇はありません。アゾットに関わる事件は頻発していますからね。
This is my fault, isn't it?
いやいや、んなことないって。このアゾットってやつ、犯罪を楽しんでんのさ。君が捕まろうが捕まる前が同じことしてるよ。
ああ、それはインピーと同意見だよ。それにショルメも似たようなことを言ってたし。
Thank you. I feel a little bit better knowing that.
どうにしろアゾットを放っておくわけにはいきませんしね。
Saint Germain lays a piece of paper out on the table for us to look at. The page covers the details of the recent violent crimes as well as changes taking place in London as a response. So far, no connection has been made between the different criminals committing the growing number of atrocious acts. The only thing the crimes have in common is the word Azoth left behind in blood. Even when one of the perpetrators is caught, he commits suicide, leaving behind no clues as to who or where Azoth is. To deal with the situation, Queen Victoria has used her authority to call for full cooperation of the police and the military. She's established a task force for the Azoth cases with Imperial Guard Captain Lionheart in charge. Lionheart stressed strengthening the city's defense first and foremost to prevent further crimes before focusing on Azoth. The residents of London have stopped going out at night out of fear that they will be the next victims of these murders. As far as I can tell from the article, the government forces led by Lionheart are putting great effort into solving the case. However, Azoth's crimes are on the rise at an alarming rate. We know that we have to do something to stop them, but we're unable to make a move. I wonder where Van Helsing went. Yes, we've already asked this question.
お、噂をすればなんとやら。ご本人のご登場だ。
There you go, just ask him. I look up in response to Lupin's comment and see Van Helsing. Van Helsing, where have you been? Are you sure you're well enough to keep going out?
随分と大げさだな。問題がないからこそ、こうして出歩いているんだ。
Obviously.
いや、その前にお前はどこに行くとかいなくなるとか、いろいろと俺たちに言っていくべきだろうが。
なぜ私がいちいち自分の行動をお前たちに話す必要がある？
I know, and scolding him is not going to get a good response either.
なんだと？
ちょっとやめようよ。とにかく無事ならいいんだ、バン。ルパンだってすごく心配してたんだよ。
He's gonna be like, I didn't ask for anyone to worry about me.
ヘルシング、アゾットの正体は何かつかめたか？
Dele, who had been silent this whole time, suddenly raises his head.
ノインテーターの無念を晴らすためにアゾットを止める。そのためにも知っていることはすべて話せ。
Silence. And Helsing doesn't reply right away. When he does, he glares at us all around him.
逆だ。この件にはもう誰も関わるな。今日はそれを言いに来た。
なんだと？
アゾットの相手は私がすると言っているんだ。
What do you mean, Van Helsing?
それは私から話をしよう。
Alistair. Of course he's here. We all turn and stare wide-eyed at the person who appears from behind Van Helsing. You led him to your mansion. Alistair.
アレスターって黄昏の指揮官っていう
なんでそんな人がここに？バン、どういうつもりで？
I know, the new leader of Twilight.
ああ、驚かせてしまってすまないね。
At this moment.
そう警戒しないでくれたまえ。今の私自身は君たちに敵対するつもりなどない。
It's not suspicious at all. Alistair shrugs and raises his hands as if in surrender. Yeah, I don't trust you. Not one bit. However, none of us can let our guards down, and I can feel a sense of fierce hostility from us all. Yep.
なるほど。我々の敵でないとすれば、黄昏の指揮官が一体何のようでしょうか。
He says, I see? Question mark?
少しでもおかしな様子があれば切って捨てますが。 当然。その覚悟は終わりですよね。
Any wrong move, and I will quickly dispose of you. You are aware, right? Funny. Alistair nods slowly, seemingly unfazed by Saint Germain's threat.
ああ、
Sure.
気に食わなければどのようにしてもらっても構わんよ。できれば話を聞いてからにしてほしいがね。
Hopefully you'll let me explain first. It seems Van Helsing brought him here, so he probably won't try anything funny. I exchange a quick glance with Lupin.
OK、 聞こうじゃねえか。その話とやらを。
Alistair slowly opens his mouth to speak.
事態が動いた。事件はもはやただの凶悪事件ではなくなった。黄昏のほぼ4分の3が本部から姿を消したのだよ。
They disappeared? What does that mean?
言葉通りさ。黄昏の人員がある日突然霞のように消えてしまったのだ。
原因は
私にもわからない。だが現状の最高指揮官である私以外に黄昏を動かせるのは一人しかいないだろうな。
You're saying it's Finis?
ああ、その通りだよ、カルディア君。
Kun. Why did you call her that? I don't understand.
フィーニスは確かに死んだ。それは黄昏の部下からも、そしてそこにいるバンからも聞いている。だが、それさえも彼の計略だったのかもしれない。
フィーニスの死後発動される計画があった、そういうことですか？
その通り。あるいは
あるいは未だにフィーニスが生きているか。
はあ、科学信奉者の俺としてはさすがに死人が生き返るってのは納得できないんだよな。
それは私も同様だ。しかし現にこのような状況になっている以上、この事件の裏にはフィーニスがいると思って行動した方がいいのではないかな。
いや、アゾットはアゾットだ。奴が生きていることをこの目で確認できていない以上、断定するのは危険だぜ。
君は噂のアルセーヌ・ルパン君かな。我々黄昏を翻弄した泥棒など前代未聞だ。あの知識と技術はどこから手に入れたのかね。どこか我々黄昏の技術と似通ったところがあるようにも思えるが。
Oh, really?
効率を求めりゃ最後に行き着くところは皆同じ。何でもそうだろ。
I don't remember who his teacher is, so I can't make any comment.
確かにそれは言えているな。
とにかく今後フィーニスが黄昏を使い何をするにしても危険が大きい。お前たちは下手に手を出さず別ルートからアイザックの情報を探ってくれ。この件は私に任せてもらおう。
I don't want y'all involved. We can't let you do that. I can't stop myself from speaking out. I hadn't put much thought into it. The words stumbled out simply because I don't want to be separated from Van Helsing. Aw, it's so sad. She already likes him, and he's just like, nope, not going to happen. As soon as I look the other way, he's going to go someplace far away. I'm certain of this. If Azoth is truly Finis, we can't ignore this case while searching for clues about my father. Besides, they're after me. I can't just leave it all up to you.
うまく伝わっていなかったようだな。ならば、今一度はっきりと言ってやろう。
Yes, say it more clearly for us.
私はお前たちが足手まといだと言っているんだ。
Still, I can't let you go by yourself.
どうやら部外者は消えた方が良さそうだ。バン、私は引き続きフィーニスの行方を追う。また何かあったら知らせよ
う。いや、私も行こう。これ以上の話し合いは時間の無駄だ。
That's kind of rude. Alistair leaves the room and Van Helsing follows him out. You go chase after him. I chase Van Helsing outside. The two men are standing right outside the mansion's main entrance. Van Helsing, wait.
と言っているが。
He's going no.
必要ない。行くぞ。
See, I don't like it. He's so mean to her. So mean to her. Like ignoring her.
話くらい聞いてあげてもいいのではないか。あんなにも君のことを心配してくれているんだ。
And right after that cute little moment that they had on the bed too, she's about to say something to him.
余計な世話だ。
His mask is so far over his face that he is just doesn't even have room for compassion right now.
そう言うな。自らを大切に思ってくれる人物。君にとってそういう人間は貴重だろう。
At least your teachers has some common sense. He's forcing you to be alone with her. He gently taps Van Helsing on the shoulder and walks away. Van Helsing remains in the same place. Van Helsing.
存外しつこいやつだな、お前も。
I'm coming with you. I won't get in your way. Van Helsing looks at me in the face and then lets out a slight sigh.
意気込みだけでどうにかなる世界ではない。それにお前に何の関係がある？もしフィーニスがお前の毒を治す方法を知っているなら必ず聞き出してやる。
Aw, he's still thinking about that, even though his main focus is on Finis. He's like, I will still help you. Just stay here.
だからもうこれ以上私につきまとうな。
That's not it. I don't know how to express what I'm feeling right now. I don't want to see you suffer anymore.
私が苦しんでいるだと？何を根拠に言っている？
It just looks like you're deeply hurt, and it's like you're trying to get yourself killed. I feel like I can't leave you by yourself.
そうか。それは見当違いな心配だな。それに万が一、私が苦しんでいたとしても、お前には関係のない話だ。
But
いいから。お前は自分のことだけ考えていろ。毒を消し、普通の人間として幸せになればいい。もし私がお前に関して何かを望むのであれば、それだけだ。
But I feel? What do I feel? I don't quite understand what I want to say. What exactly is Van Helsing to me? Then I hear the noisy cry of a horse. I look in the direction of the sound, wondering what it could be.
エルシング、カルディア君。
Oh. With a desperate look, Lionheart rides his steed through the mansion's gates. He dismounts from his horse and advances toward Van Helsing.
大変なことが起きた。事情を話したい。他の連中も集めてほしい。貴殿らの力が必要なのだ。
He's gonna be like, don't bother.
アゾットの件か。それならば、私は一人で。
You just told him in the last episode that you're going to involve everyone else, and he's like, nope, alone. We're all in the dining room. Please come in.
おお、ありがたい。では、我が輩は先に行くぞ。
Van Helsing. He's like, oh my gosh.
いいやお前
He's so angry. You've gotten through everything together. That's why we'll always be together.
ち勝手なやつだ。
And he must have had some deep thinking done while he was in that room to have such a resolve to keep her away right now. Van Helsing and I rush back to the mansion.
先ほど女王陛下謁見の最中、複数名の兵たちが乱入してきたのだ。その兵士は意味不明な叫び声を上げ、人間とは思えない力で暴れ回った。
Superhuman strength. That must mean hidden strength.
ヒドゥン、なんだねそれは。
後で説明してやる。先を話せ。急いでいるのだろう。
ああ、警護に当たっていたこの衛兵が取り押さえるまでに3名が死に、そして取り押さえられた後、男は身につけていた爆薬に火をつけて自爆。
Of course.
幸い女王陛下の身に危険はなかったが、この時だけで5名のこの衛兵が名誉の死を遂げた。ね、自爆ってまた壮絶だねそりゃ。
随分と乱暴なやり口だが、アゾットの文字は？
おう、あったよ。男の身につけていた金属製の箱にそう彫られていた。
He's off again.
だが問題はそれだけではないのだ。箱の中には政府への宣戦布告とも取れる奇怪な文章が入っていた。
Lionheart takes a piece of paper out of his pocket and shows it to us.
我は破壊と混乱を望む者。すべての秩序の破壊を望む者。諸君には屍となって我の意志を表す印となってもらう。例外はない。諸君にはすべからく死んでもらう。法と秩序の中に真実はない。さあ、ゲームの時間だよ、諸君。だそうです。
じゃあアゾットの目的は政府の転覆ってこと？
いや、この文面からは政治的な表明が一切感じられない。彼は本当にゲームのつもりで。
だとしたら随分と規模の大きな愉快犯だぜ。
ゲームか。ふざけた真似を。
おっと、話はまだ終わっていない。もう一つ告げなければいけない重大な真実がある。先の兵士たちだが自爆する直前、フィーニス様万歳、そう叫びながら死んでいる。事情を聞こうにも肝心のフィーニスは姿を消したままだ。我々としても一体何がなんだか。
The unsurety in Lionheart's voice makes us look around at one another.
これでまたアゾットが奴である可能性が高まったな。
Based on these circumstances, that really might be the case.
不死ですか？
You might know something about that, huh?
なんだ何の話だ
What?
俺たちが知ってるってだけで、すでにフィーニスは2度死んでるんだよ。今もし本当にあいつが生きてるなら、
3度目の生ということになるな。
Third round of life. It's all right, Captain Lionheart. I'll explain. When no one raises any complaints, I tell Lionheart the events that led up to now. Of course, I don't tell him too much about some topics that would be inconvenient. He looks at me suspiciously the entire time and scoffs disdainfully occasionally, but when I finish talking, he nods.
アザットがフィーニスとは、諸君らが相対したそのいずれもが影武者であったと考えるのが妥当ではないか。
ありえないと思うが、それが最も筋の通る話であるのも否定はできないな。
話は分かった。一部の人員をフィーニス捜索に当てよう。諸君も全力でアザットの行方を探してほしい。
犯人探しか。まずはショルメを訪ねてみる必要があるだろうな。
なら俺はレオンのおっさんと現場を確認してくるぜ。手がかりが見つかるかもしれねえからな。
ではこの間と同じくチームという形で動きましょうか。
And Van Helsing is like, no, I want to do this alone.
私とフラン、それにインピーはルパンたちに同行します。バン、ドラちゃん、カルディアさん、あなたたちはショルメの方を訪ねてみてください。
If we're simply searching for him, the more help the better, right, Van Helsing?
勝手にしろ。
And it pleases me to do this. There you go. Van Helsing leaves the room and Deli and I follow him. He's like, dang it. The sun is about to set in the skies to the west. We arrive once again at Shelm's detective office. The door opens before we can knock. Oh, hi.
おや、
Oh, yeah?
これは奇遇だね。私に何か用かな？
He just opens the door and like, oh, do you need something? Like, I mean, if you knew they're there, you would know that they want something, right? Right? I mean, we're here to ask if you made any progress in the Azoth case.
ああ、その件か。ならば良いところに来たね。ちょうどこれから進展があるよ。
He's like, oh, there's about to be progress. Like, how would you know this? He's just a mind reader.
これから進展がある？
I know, right?
どういうことだ？
時間が惜しい。歩きながら話そうか。私としたことが気づくのに時間がかかってしまってね。
Sholmes begins walking away at a brisk pace.
先日君が言っていただろう。アゾットの正体はフィーニスであると。その視点からもう一度アゾット事件、そしてそれ以前に起きた類似する凶悪事件を調べてみたんだ。その結果、統計学的に無視できない数でフィーニスの性的が事件に巻き込まれていることが分かった。
やはり正体はフィーニスということか。
あるいはそう思わせたい別の犯人がいるのかもしれないがね。
これからどこに行くのだ？
実はね、フィーニス最大の性的がまだ残っているんだよ。前軍事技術顧問だったアイザックの政策にも真っ向から反対し、吸血鬼戦争にも異を唱えた貴族院反フィーニス派の中心人物。
レンフィールド公爵か。
Sholmes nods at Van Helsing's outburst. Do you know him, Van Helsing?
有名な男だ。ビクトリア女王でさえ、この男の発言を安易に無視することはできないと言われているほどだ。
That's pretty important.
バッキンガム宮殿での宣戦布告は私もすでにヤードから聞いている。アゾットはこの犯罪を劇でも見ているように楽しんでいる節があるね。政府全体に最大の混乱を与えるならば宣言をした直後しかない。
Then Marquise Renfield is.
ああ、今この瞬間にも窮地かもしれないね。
そうか、人間の中には吸血鬼戦争に反対する者もいたのか。無事であるといいが。
Oh. I hope he's saved. Deli cares for someone else, a
ショル
human.
メの言う通り、急いだ方が良さそうだ。
We follow Sholmes' lead and rush to central London.
あの屋敷がそうだ。
I pull myself together. That scared me. Suddenly we hear a scream from within the mansion. Oh no.
まずいね。時すでに遅しというやつかな。
How could you be too late when you can predict stuff like this? It's probably not too late.
あ、上だ。
There's the sound of glass shattering, and a figure leaps down from the third floor to the ground. Is it Finis? Probably not. Upon landing, the person starts running without missing a beat.
なんと、あの高さから落ちて無事なのか。ともあれ、ここは私が調べる。君たちはあの男を追ってくれ。
Chase that man. Let's go.
言われずとも、逃がすつもりなど毛頭ない。
He's just gonna, like, murder himself to keep himself from talking. And Helsing begins running, and we chase after him. We're closing in on Azov's true identity by the minute. I feel certain of this. But at the same time, it feels like Van Helsing is running straight into a trap that can't be undone, and it scares me. Yeah. There's some not good stuff coming up. The sun sets completely as I follow his footsteps, and we return once more to Midtown. I can't find any traces left behind by the person who fled the mansion, but Van Helsing picks up on the faintest tracks.
速度は一定だ。むしろ、我々が追いかけることを歓迎しているようにも感じる。
罠ということか。
ああ、その可能性が最も。
I suddenly feel my hackles rise. What? Two Twilight soldiers with swords appear.
ち、ドラクロは、お前の予想が当たったようだな。
だが、たかが2人。いくら訓練されようと、世が人間風情に。あ？
A sharp blade slices towards Deli, and he barely twists aside to avoid it.
うっとうしい雑魚が。
Van Helsing fires his gun without hesitation, but amazingly, the soldiers avoid his shots.
なるほど。こいつらもヒドゥンストレングスか。
それだけではないぞ。この動き、人間のものではない。こやつら、世の同族。吸血鬼だ。
Oh no, they're Twilight vampires. Vampires, then they're the same as Neontote. This sounds like a zombie, not a vampire. I hear a growl. There doesn't appear to be a single spark of sanity left in them. Oh my goodness.
二人とも、やはりアゾットは私一人で追いかける。お前たちは今からでもルパンたちに合流するといい。
Wait, we should all retreat together. This is Azov's trap for us.
ああ、そう
So
だろう
what?
な。だがそれがなんだ。罠だというならば、その罠ごとアゾットの喉元を食いちぎってくれる。
He's so violent. Gonna rip out his throat. And Van Helsing aims his gun at one of the soldiers, his eyes filled with rage. However, an unexpected voice calls out.
その必要はないよ。エイブラハム・バン・ヘルシング。君が望んでいる僕は ここにいる。
There he is! He's back! Of course, we knew he was back in the last episode because he appeared at the very end doing a monologue. A small figure appears behind the soldiers. A light breeze blows by, and the clouds reveal enough of the moon to illuminate the scene. Finis. The name tumbles from my mouth.
やあ姉さん、また会えたね。感動の再会というのは何度経験しても素晴らしいね。
No matter how many times you experience them, he's used to experiencing things more than once. Immortal, yep. The possibility had come up many times, but when faced with the actuality of it, the eeriness and discomfort are more than I can bear. That doll-like face, almost perfectly still and flawless in the moonlight. It's exactly the same as the Finis who had died in the laboratory. There's no way it could have been a double. There is no question. Finis is Azoth.
ヘルシング、君もしつこいね。君の行動原理は怒りからの復讐心？それとも恐怖からの脱却？
I still think Azoth is someone else though. And you only hear Azoth talk once, but he has the same tone or same way of speaking as someone else, and I don't think it's Finis.
まあ何にせよ、せいぜい君の気が済むまで好きにやるといいさ。僕は僕で用事があるのでね。
Yeah, Finis's voice is too up and down, too dramatic, and the Azoth speaker was very flat-toned and spoke at the same volume level. So I definitely think it's someone else.
今はただ単に頑張る君たちへ激励をしに来ただけだ。それじゃあね。
He's here to provide encouragement. See you later. Finis laughs as he turns away. I try to call out to him, and Van Helsing is already shooting, and freeze at the gunshot that goes off from beside me. He's not letting you go.
Finis.
Watch out, there's a zombie next to you. Van Helsing's shot doesn't reach his target. Instead, one of the Twilight soldiers blocks it, standing before us like a wall. Finis looks around with an amused smirk, as if noticing the situation for the first time.
あれ？意外だな。この吸血鬼たち、律儀に僕は守るのか。そうか。そんな設定なんだね。
Why are you acting like you don't know?
設定？何を言っている？
Is he referring to how human strength is, I guess?
残念だけど、君たちと遊ぶ時間はない。相手なら彼らが務めてくれるさ。
He waves, then turns his back to us and disappears into the darkness.
待て！フィニス！
The Twilight soldiers move to block Van Helsing as he runs after Finis. Van Helsing, watch out! A soldier's rapier strikes his arm and a bloodstain blossoms on his shoulder. But he continues running without stopping. It's as if he doesn't register anything except for Finis. I know, right? Ellie runs ahead of the Twilight soldiers who have turned to pursue Van Helsing and blocks their way.
我が同胞よ。お前たちの相手は世がしよう。
Your fight is with me.
世はノスフェラトゥの王位を継ぐ者。市民のためならば、世はこの命など惜しくはない。偉大なる父王、ドラクロは一世の名にかけて、世が救い出してみせようぞ。
Ellie takes an aggressive stance, and the vampires in Twilight uniforms seem to shift their focus from Van Helsing to him. Deli. I know Deli is strong, but I've seen firsthand how frightening hidden strength can be, and how strong vampires are under its influence.
カルディア、 よく聞くがよい。
Ellie speaks calmly, as if coaxing me through my internal struggle.
ここは世が引き受ける。あの男を一人にしてはならぬ。
I know, even he knows that there's something. Van Helsing is acting blindly, which can only get you in trouble.
今のあの男は以前の世と同じだ。
Revenge. All he can see is revenge.
復讐の二文字にとらわれ、すべてをかなぐり捨ててでも闇の中に身を浸そうとしている。お前が光となってあの男を導いてやるがいい。
Oh, it's so cute, Deli saying this to her.
お前が世にとって一縷の光となってくれたようにな。
Aw, that's so adorable. Me at your light?
おー
Hey, that sounds like a human now instead of a zombie. He barely dodges the blade that attacks him from both sides and grabs the vampire's arms, stopping them.
何を迷う。ヘルシングにはお前が必要なのだ。
Well, obviously we're chasing after Van Helsing. Oh crap. Hold on. Let me go back and save it because there's a bad ending if you don't. So we're going to save. And then we're going to chase after Van Helsing. Alright, I'm sorry, Deli. Deli manages a smile even while straining to hold back the soldiers at once.
謝る必要はない。あの男は世の復讐対象だが、同時に恩人でもあるのだ。
Aw, yeah, I know. You're not gonna kill him at the end. You just say you are. You're just talking big, but you're not gonna kill him after you're done. You have gratitude towards him. I promise me you'll join us out later.
愚問だな。世があの屋敷に戻らなければ、シシーが寂しがるからな。
It's nice of them to like, let you talk this out and stuff. I give Deli a determined nod and take off after Van Helsing. I run after Van Helsing. Following him is easy. The blood dripping from his wound dots the street, creating a path. Oh my goodness. I can't let Van Helsing confront Finis by himself. I feel this more and more strongly. I run as fast as I can, and soon I find Van Helsing pointing his gun at Finis. I've seen this twice before. First on the train, the second time in the laboratory, in that room filled with the failed attempts at me. And now again, the two look at one another as if silently communicating their thoughts to each other.
カルディア追いかけてきたのか。ともかくそこにいろ。すぐに型をつける。
That's what you think, though. I mean, what are you gonna do? Shoot him? He's just gonna come back to life. I don't understand. Van Helsing.
やあ姉さん。ほら見てよこの状況。ねえ正直どう思う？
What do you think? I think you're going to just come back to life.
何よりも僕を優先して追いかけてくるとは。彼の僕への執着心には本当に辟易するよね。
Cringe-inducing? What? Okay.
黙れフィニス。やはり貴様がアゾットだったか。
He's gonna be like, Azov, where'd you get that from? Van Helsing walks closer to Finis, his gun forward. He is tense, and he looks like he might pull the trigger at any moment. Finis, on the other hand, seems quite calm and doesn't show a hint of discomfort even in these circumstances. I know, because you can't kill him with a gun.
アゾット？ああ、あの一連の事件の首謀者ね。多少興味を惹かれるけど、それだけだね。
Yeah, see, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He speaks as if he's not Azoth after all. Finis, aren't you behind all this?
さあ、どうかな。
And of course, when you say that, you're just like, well, I mean, what do you think now?
少なくとも僕はこの事態を好ましいものだと思っているよ。きっ とこれから始まることは僕の計画する新しい世界のシミュレーションになるはずだからね。
What? Finis's words cause a slew of questions to bubble up in my mind. A new world, simulation. Finis is not Azoth? If I can trust him, it would seem that someone else is the leader behind these horrible crimes. Answer me, Finis. Are you Azoth? Finis doesn't respond and simply smiles silently.
簡単な証明だ。こいつを殺して事件が終わるなら、それが真実だったということだ。
But how are you going to do that with a gun? That's what I want to know.
もう何度言ったら理解してくれるんだろうね。ヘルシング、君には僕を殺すことはできない。
I know, he's like one of those children that you just have to tell over and over again. No, you can't do that. It doesn't work.
100の銃を持ち、1000の弾を撃ち、万の死をもってしても、僕は絶対に殺せない。
何度でも試してやるさ。貴様が死ぬまでな。
Till you stay dead.
言ってもわからないか。いいよ。なら、わからせてあげる。
Look at that evilness. Finis leaps forward. Finis leaps towards Van Helsing. Van Helsing reacts and fires on instinct. His bullets were not rock salt this time. It looks like this should settle things. However, not even this stops Finis, who quickly disappears down a narrow alley, as if the gunshot blast had no effect on him. How? That was a direct hit.
逃がすか。
The moment Van Helsing starts to run,
姉さん、もう遊びはおしまいにしようよ。姉さんは僕のもの、そして父様のものだ。
I don't like how he's like whispering into her ear. And since it's in my headphones and I can't see him, it literally feels like he's whispering to me and I don't like it. Yeah, I know. His voice whispers in my ear. I don't like it. It gave me shivers. Before I could turn around, he has a dagger at my neck. Oh my goodness. The blade touches my skin, releasing a foul odor and smoke as the metal begins to melt. How did you get behind me? Impossible. How could he turn down an alley and appear right behind me immediately afterwards? There's no way he could do that.
フィニス。
やっぱり驚くよね。でも僕についてくるなら、すべての真実を語ってあげるよ、姉さん。
勝手にことを運べると思うな。お前はここで私に殺されるんだ。
へえ。けど、よく考えなよ、ヘルシング。今撃てば、姉さんは死ぬ。姉さんと僕は違う。二度と生き返ったりはしない。
それがどうした？
強がりだね、君は。
I don't think he said so what as in he doesn't care. I think he's saying so what do we do now?
僕は空っぽだからね。代わりに人の心の動きがよくわかる。君は今戸惑っている。姉さんごと僕を撃てない自分自身に。
Oh yeah, he doesn't want to shoot her.
さあ、選ぶといいよ。姉さんの命を奪ってまで自分の意志を貫くか、姉さんを助けて自分の正義を折るか。まるで2年前のあの時のようだね。 君の家族が殺された時、君はどんな判断を下したのだったかな？
黙れフィーニス
His family was killed. Van Helsing's face twists with rage as he points his gun at us, paying no mind to the surprise in my reaction. I didn't see a second option, but I'm guessing it's the yeah, because I didn't actually see words. And I can't bring myself to tell him to. If Finis really is Azoth and we let him go here, he may go on to commit even greater crimes. I'm fully aware of this. Finis needs to be stopped here and now, but I can't say anything. I can't tell whether it's because I don't want to die or because I don't want Van Helsing to have to kill anyone else. I can't make that decision for him. Van Helsing and I exchange glances in this tense atmosphere. Van Helsing's eyes are wavering. Oh, I feel so bad for him. What is most important? What must be sacrificed?
私は
He appears to be suffering from a deep emotional conflict. Then, the ground shakes from a sudden blast. What was that?
バッキンガム宮殿の方向
Uh-oh. Oh. In our moment of distraction, Venice takes the opportunity to make a dash for the darkness of an alleyway. He just runs away. And Helsing's like, no. You got to get away. The movement was too sudden and his gun is not steady. He cannot hit his target.
きっと君はどちらも選べずに全てを失う。
Venice's voice emerges from the darkness.
ヘルシング、前にも言ったけど、僕は君のことが嫌いじゃない。
So what, did Van Helsing had to make a choice between killing someone and his family?
僕にそれだけの感情をぶつけてくれるのは君だけだからね。また会おう、姉さん、ヘルシング。僕の愛しい人たち。
What does that mean, two of my beloved? It just melts into the dark and disappears. The two of us chase after him right away. But beyond the alley, we only see the dark waters of the Thames River. There is no sign of Finis. He got away. And Helsing's gonna be so mad. I thought that was the end of the chapter. I'm like, what? We didn't get a CG. It can't be the end of the chapter. I don't have a thumbnail yet. Dracula stands alone beneath the moon, the bodies of his fellow vampires on the ground before him.
死んでしまうとは。
What are you talking about? Did you not kill them? Did they die some other way? He had defeated them and was about to try to speak to them in an attempt to bring them back to their senses. Oh, they committed suicide. But the two vampires had fallen on their own daggers and taken their lives. Fallen on... You can't fall on your daggers and then take your own life simultaneously. You either stab yourself with daggers or you fall on them accidentally. I don't know. Whatever.
救えなかった。世は未熟だ。何が王だ。何が復讐だ。東方の一人さえ救えないではないか。
That's so sad. A single tear falls from his cheek as he bows his head and closes his eyes.
今はただ祈ろう。お前たちの魂が平穏な眠りにつくよう。父上、どうかこの者たちにねぎらいの言葉を。
The sound of footsteps suddenly draw close. The boy king raises his head and stares at the figure approaching from the darkness. Then,
なぜお前が。
uh-oh. What just happened? No, come back. The end, right? I didn't get a CG. No, what am I going to do? Dang it. I gotta make up my own CG again. I thought I was going to get a specific Van Helsing CG, but there's probably going to be one that's got like 2 or 3 of them in it. Let's see, how long was this one? It was pretty short. About an hour, probably less than an hour after I cut it all out. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, so I think I'm going to keep recording and at least have it recorded so I can just edit the next one the next day and release it not a week later. So so if you guys did like this one, hit that thumbs up down below. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more of Van Helsing's content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.